Welcome to the Mind of Psychic, where we talk music, addiction, comedy, culture. If you like this content, please leave feedback and subscribe. Let's get into it. I've also noticed using coping skills in the moment and knowing your body enough to figure out that the little signs of when you're about to feel like you're going into depression and the mini signals, the mini triggers, that's a good thing to watch out for. I mean, me personally, I know from November to February of every year, even with medication, it's just I really dislike that time. I don't know if it has to do with the cold. I know about like seasonal depression and all of that. I tend to believe that, in my opinion, that's a thing. Just think that that time period for me is the most depressing of the year. And that's when I feel the most depressed. So winter for me, that is the time when I feel the most hopeless and the most sad and depressed. That's between, I would call it winter. And then usually at spring onward, that's when my happiest time of the year is. And that's when I feel like the most enjoyment and in the best mental health. There's a time between mid April to the end of May. I've noticed that my depression also elevates. And that's because my mom passing, my grandmother passing, my father passing, all in different years, but within that time period of mid April to the end of May is the time due to the deaths. So now knowing that over the last few years and getting more insight into myself, I can better regulate what I need to do in that time and just be truthful to myself, knowing that these parts of the year I'm going to have this, it's going to make me feel a certain way, so I have to prepare myself and work, school, whatever activities I need to do, knowing that this time will come is the time that I know, okay, this is how I need to be proactive and do things so I can go about being as normal as possible during that time. And if I'm really busy with stuff such as work, this sounds bad, but sometimes I forget because I'm so involved in other things and I don't make it my everyday thought process of my family died on this day, my mom died on this day. I don't bring that dread out to myself. It's one of those things where, like I mentioned, I've learned, I've lived with. I find that I understand myself so much better as the years go by, as the clarity of my mind and my focus and my thought process goes by. Um, Being on the correct dosage of medication, taking it correctly, not drinking, not doing drugs, no substances, that all helps with me staying on the right path, having the positive thoughts. That is what I feel is the best. And in previous episodes, I mentioned coping skills, and those, other than the medications, in my opinion, are what drives me in a more positive, uplifting, sublime feeling that I need to be in. learning what works best for you and the coping skills that you utilize on a daily basis prevents and helps you understand and have an idea, a schedule now that I can wake up, know already my routine, and don't even think about really anything until I'm done with that routine. Like, for instance, I say I have my mantra in the morning, and that is what I've learned over the years that has helped me. And I always say when I get up, today's going to be a good day. I'm blessed. Life or death, I choose life. And that gives me the motivation to get out and roll with the day. You go through the day, you do what you need to do, you take time for yourself. Being mindful of what depression does to you and how it affects your orbit is one of the most priceless things that I've learned over the years. It's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a week. These little skills that you learn them over time. You mix, you match, whatever works best for you. Some people like playing video games. If that can get you out of that depressive mode, and as I mentioned before, getting out of bed, even though, as I mentioned, it's a minute thing, just by doing that, taking the trash out, being active in any sort of way, that's a great first step, especially in the morning when you wake up. Like for me, I'm on a be as positive as I can, go to work, help people because that's what I'm here to do. It's taken me a long time to figure out that number one, it's okay to be selfish in your time of self-care and to trying to get that so-called depression animal off your back. Because with the if the depression animal is on your back, you're not gonna worry about anybody else. You're gonna try, but you can't be 100% committed to others with that on your back. It's not gonna roll. Depression will come out of nowhere. Depression is not your friend. Depression sucks. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not say it's a good thing. Let's not make it okay. And let's make it okay to talk about it, to get help, to have more of an understanding, to feel good about yourself, to love life, no matter what you do. Love your life. You'll feel it once you get out of that depressive state and actually figure out what you want. You can do it. You know, you have the skills already. Just try. You're going to feel like crap sometimes. I think that's life. That is life. It's not, I think, it is life. And having love for things helps. Life throws you all types of curveballs. Life, people, whatever the thing is, it's gonna it's gonna be there. It's gonna stay there unless you remove it from yourself. And I'm saying that depression is that negative, hateful monster on your back that anybody can get rid of with enough work, enough patience, enough help from others, and the self love you can gain by being able to just punch it off your body and double barrel hand grenades to them and know that you can do it. just know it's all right. Just know you can live the best life that you can. So many people have this and they deal with it. So many people have this and they don't deal with it. They don't know how to deal with it. They're scared to deal with it. They're scared to tell someone, like I was for all those years. If anyone, while you're listening to this, has someone in their life that sees certain symptoms, you can, in a non harsh, direct way, ask them, "Hey, how you doing today?" Give them compliments. Maybe they're just feeling a certain way about themselves that particular moment, and hearing a pleasantry will help them. Or maybe there's something really going on, like they just found out a friend died or a family member died, or they found out something horrible. By being nice and reaching out, that means all the difference. Maybe not at that point, but if I got a text, when I got texts from people or phone calls or messages at the height of my depression episodes, I at least knew somebody cared, even though I didn't want them to know. But anybody that's known me more than 2 days, I'm kidding, more than, for a long period of time, knows the stuff I go through. So whatever keeps you going in that positive mindset, go for it. And it's not personal if I don't text them right away, or, you know, within a normal, reasonable amount of time. Just know that it means a lot, because eventually I will respond. Nowadays, it's just because I work and I'm doing this podcast and I'm doing other things to that I find enjoyment in my life. I absolutely love doing this podcast and this stuff because it helps me feel so much better. It brings that depression and it cuts it. I just feel like it's the best medicine for me and what I need to do. And even if it only reaches a handful of people, I know for a fact that one of these words will touch someone in a way that, or give them an idea, or give them motivation, give them the strength to not feel like they're useless. That is one of the hardest parts of getting out of the depression too, is the uselessness that you feel, the hopelessness, the all-encompassing life sucks. You can feel that way for a little bit. You can feel sorry for yourself for a little bit, but once it really tangles up on you, it's time to just say, heck with this. I'm going to do it. Just do it. Just try it. If you can try it, and let's say mottos don't work for you. Let's say self internal self talk doesn't work for you. Well, try something else. Try going to try doing something that you're not alone. Being in the community, going to the park, going to a movie, going for the walk, going golfing, playing basketball, doing whatever, something to be active will really, really help you in the long run, in my opinion. I know this episode's been a little bit long. Most likely, this will be a two-parter, but I just have a lot of information and a lot of substance with this particular episode and the particular subject of depression. It's a good thing to talk about. Talking really helps. Just be true to yourself no matter what. No matter what anybody tells you, just be you. And I want to say, don't listen to others. But as humans, we always listen to others. And it takes a lot of practice not to. not to bring that negative energy or their opinions into you internally. But maybe eventually you'll learn how to cope with that, how to mask that negative and shield that negative energy towards you. Drama's not good. Try to stay away from that, especially when you're in a depressing mood. That's all I have to say. Just try to stay away from all that drama because that's only gonna make it worse and worse. So on that note, guys, I want to say thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. And remember, recovery is not a race. Once again, recovery is not a race. You can do it. You can get that depressive monster off your back if you try hard enough. I'm out. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a comment. You can hear me on all major platforms and socials under the Mind of Psychic podcast. See you next time.